Why don't we start by you teaching me common expressions that British people, not necessarily British people, use in a restaurant?
Sure. I've just got a short list. There was nothing particularly, unique or special. They're all pretty simple things, but I didn't know what kind of thing you wanted.
Basically, every expression that you taught me related to airports felt really, really great.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
So the first thing is, let's imagine you're on the street and you're walking past a restaurant. You don't have a reservation, but it looks good. Maybe the fancier places or the nice places, they have someone on the door, right? Or someone close to the entrance. The question we would ask is, do you take walk-ins?
Walk-ins.
Yeah, do you take walk-ins?
Do you take walk-ins?
Yeah, it suggests we don't have a reservation, but I'm just like, I want to come in and eat straight away. So do you take walk-ins? And they would say, sure, have a seat. Or they would say, sorry, no, you need to make a reservation.
Okay. Are there many restaurants in Britain that only take guests or customers who have already made reservations before?
I would say in London, you will probably find many restaurants that require reservations, sure. Especially touristy areas, the most popular kind of restaurants, especially, Michelin-starred restaurants. If you're going for those kind of things, you would need to make a reservation.
Is that because they have a lot of customers?
I guess so, and they're very popular.
Just before, you used the phrasal verb, walk past the restaurant. Instead of walk past, can I also say walk by a restaurant?
Exactly right, yeah. Walk by a restaurant, walk past a restaurant, both are good. Very common, everywhere these days is sometimes it's not a person, sometimes, sorry, that's not what I meant to say. Sometimes the person on the door, they have an iPad or there's a computer or something where you have to add your name. So we would say, could you add my name to the waiting list?
Could you add my name on the waiting list? Okay. How about could you put my name on the waiting list?
Put my name on the waiting list is great. So add my name to, put my name on the waiting list. Both work.
A different preposition according to what verb I use.
Sure.
So add something to, put something on.
Exactly right. Maybe there's a group of customers waiting outside and no staff. And maybe the list is not clear. Is this the waiting list or not? So you could simply ask them, excuse me, is this the waiting list? And then say yes. And then you can just add your name yourself. Maybe.
Is this a waiting list?
Yeah.
Is this a waiting list?
Another simple question, but very important, is how long is the wait?
How long is the wait? Which means how long do I have to wait?
Exactly right. So you can see there are people hanging around outside. You go in, you want to add your name to the waiting list, but maybe you don't have all day. You want to know, is it a 30-minute wait? Is it a 2-hour wait? So how long is the wait?
Oh, I have a quick question.
Sure.
In a lot of restaurants in Korea, probably you must have seen a sign, 물은 셀프입니다. Water is self.
Right.
Which means to say you need to take your water yourself. We don't serve water to you. In this situation, what sign would be the best, the most appropriate? I know that self is Konglish.
No, so we would say self.
Oh,
so
really?
It would literally be self-service is the words that you would see. Water is self-service, or snacks are self-service.
Self-service. Is that the most common sign?
Yeah, that would be in a written form. If a waiter spoke to you, they would say maybe help yourself to water, or help yourself to the snacks over there.
Help yourself to water.
Yeah.
Or help yourself to, what else could be example? Help yourself to side dishes.
Maybe it's less common, right? That's more Korean style, but condiments maybe.
Condiments?
Condiments, yeah.
Wow.
Condiments.
This is my first time to hear the word condiments.
Condiments are your ketchup, mustard, the sauces. You just grab a tray or something that has all of the different sauces in it. Maybe you have to get it yourself. It's not common for it to have a self-service section, but you might see it.
There's another question.
Sure.
In Korea, in most of the places, water is literally free. You don't have to pay for getting water. But I know it is not the case in the United States. Then how about in the UK?
If you request tap water, by law, they have to provide you with tap water.
For free?
For free, yes.
And it is required by law?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
I'm fairly certain.
Okay.
Unless it's changed. If you go into a bar or restaurant, maybe by law, if they serve alcohol, they have to provide tap water, but I think it might be all places. And they certainly would give you tap water if you ask for it.
That implies that there is another option. Instead of tap water,
It would be bottled water, which you have to pay for.
I guess most people would go for, what was that, tap water.
Yeah, sure.
Instead of paying for bottled water.
For sure, but maybe if you go to the high-end establishments, they might protest that. I don't know.
Okay.
Would you like some more, or is that enough?
It'd be great if I could have more.
A few more? Okay.
Yes. How many sentences do you have?
6.
Let's go for all of them.
The opposite situation, what we've been discussing is without a reservation, right? It's more spontaneous. Let's say you have a reservation. How about you go first? If you had a reservation, you walk into a restaurant, what would you typically say?
I have never done that before, I guess, but I would say, excuse me, I had a reservation under the name of Shim. Could you check us in? Not check us in. Could you take us to our table?
Okay, so under and name is absolutely perfect. That's what I was going to share with you. So this is the standard structure or formula. I have a reservation under Shim for number of people. So for 3 at 7 at time.
Okay, let me give it a shot. I have a reservation under Shim for 4 people at 7 o'clock.
It's perfect. That's very standard, very common. And it's exactly how I would speak if I went into a restaurant.
Okay.
Something like that.